Welcome back, guys. Week 3. You've been through a couple of tough challenges, so this time it's all about desserts. What I've tried to do this week is show you a couple of different techniques. Really, a cheesecake is something that you can make fairly simply, but it's all about the flavours that you want to put in there. So I've given you a really basic guideline here, and I would like to see what you can come up with. If you want the recipe, remember, go to the website, download it straight away. I am looking for those photographs at the end to see how beautiful you can plate, your plating techniques are. So please give it a go. I'm going to start off with ginger nuts. I've got about 100 grams of ginger nuts, which is actually about 12 biscuits. And all I'm going to do to them is give them a buzz until they are down into a breadcrumb consistency. In reality, if you don't have a stick blender, no big deal. I like to put them in a plastic bag, wrap it up in your tea towel and get your mum's rolling pin out and give them a really good bash. In fact, if you give them a really good bash and the bag breaks, you're maybe a little bit too strong. So you can roll over those biscuits and they crush up pretty nicely. Okay, so first things first, you can see there, they are a really beautiful consistency, okay? Kind of like breadcrumbs, as I said. You can use any biscuit there too. I'm using ginger nuts, but you may want to use chocolate digestives or, you know, something, your favourite biscuit. So straight into there. Now, 50 grams of butter. Really important. Straight into the microwave, and you want to melt that butter down, okay? And then we're going to combine the two together and press them straight into this tin. I'm using I'm going to call it a single serve, but I reckon you could probably get a couple out of there. If you want to, the recipe is actually for a family, so you can do one large one, but I'm really into these small individual desserts, so give it a go. That's a good microwave. Okay, so the melted butter, give it a stir, and that goes straight in on top of those breadcrumbs. Now, got to give it a little gentle combine. You'll know when it's when the butter is fully incorporated because all of the crumbs, they slightly change colour, but they'll start to stick together a little bit. Just as you see there, lovely. Okay. Now it's quite surprising. 100 grams of biscuits does go quite a long way. Now, straight into your mould. Okay. I know it's about 4 of these will fit this beautifully. Okay, and as you can see, I've got enough base there to do another one. Right, now the most important part for the base is that you want to make sure that it sticks, and it sticks really firmly because when you go to take it out of the mould, it's really important that you've pressed it down firm enough for it to stay together. Now, I love the base and I love ginger nuts. So to be honest, the more of the base you can put in for me personally, the tastier it is. It'd be great to see you guys changing it up a little bit. Remember, you know, the recipe is just a guideline. It's just to show you. Okay, that is beautiful. Rightio. That simply goes into the refrigerator. About 20 minutes. It'll harden up. Be absolutely awesome. Okay, stage 2. I have about 250 grams of cream cheese. Okay, now cream cheese or mascarpone, whatever you want to call it. Mascarpone really is just a flash way to say cream cheese. But you need 250 grams, and it's a really funny thing to work with because what happens is it's really quite thick and it's a little lumpy. It's really hard to see the lumps, but what you have to do, you put it in a bowl, you bring it up to room temperature first, so it's a lot easier to kind of mix through. And as you can see there, it's becoming a really nice, smooth consistency. Another way to do that is on a pot of boiling water, and just for a little while you give it a good stir and it'll get smoother and smoother and smoother. Absolutely delicious. Okay, I'm just going to set that aside. The next point, I have some gelatine there and some boiling water. Okay, pretty simply, that just goes straight in there and you give it a bit of a stir around. Okay, this is important. And you know that that gelatine will be ready to use once it's clear. Okay, that's important. It's not a lot of gelatine, but it'll just help that cream cheese to set, allowing it to be sliced. Okay, set that aside. I've got 150 mils of cream here, okay, which I've just whipped into some nice soft peaks, and into there about half a teaspoon of that vanilla extract I keep talking about. It's so delicious. Okay, I'm just going to fold those together. See all those beautiful little black beads going into the cream. That's lovely. Okay, now, it's a bit of a trick here. I've got two of these. It's really hard to combine the two without this one showing its lumps. So as long as you've got that nice and lump-free, you should be able to combine the two. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit first. I'm going to fold that through. You know, you can be a little bit gentle here. You don't want to overdo the cream. No, turning it into butter, that'd be terrible. You can see there that is looking absolutely perfect. So I'm going to incorporate a little bit more cream. This time you can be a little bit more, I suppose, you can throw a little bit more in there. Just gently fold through again. To fold through, another really good technique is you cut through the middle of something and you fold it over. Then you cut through and you fold it over. Okay, and that technique means it's going to be nice and even, and that is looking really beautiful. Now what the cream does is, although it's quite a lush finish, okay, with the cream, it does lighten the whole mixture just a little bit. Tastes pretty good too. Rightio, set that aside. The next thing, I've got some, about 100 grams of white chocolate. You could use any type of chocolate you like. I was also going to show you how to melt chocolate over a bain-marie, over a thing of boiling water, make more dishes for mum and dad, but in reality we don't need to do that. We have a microwave. And so what I like to do is just put it on for around about 30 seconds at a time. Okay, if you go for about 30 seconds, what happens is it'll melt slightly, but you can give it a bit of a stir, and if it all comes together, it's perfect. Okay, if it doesn't all come together, just put it in for another 20 seconds. Just sort of a little bit at a time, give it a good stir. That way you know that it's always going to work out. Perfect. Okay, you can see there, it's a really nice smooth consistency. That'll be lovely. Into there, I'm going to stir in the lemon juice. Now, it goes a little bit funny in the beginning. Don't worry, it'll come back. As you can see there, it almost looks like it curdles a little bit. It's amazing what acid does. There you go, it's come back. Okay, and then the gelatin goes straight in there as well, and you combine that. You can see there, beautiful, very thick. The gelatin in there is almost turning the chocolate to jelly, and then that goes straight into the bowl. Okay, now make sure you get all that chocolate in there, because the cream cheese really does need that sweetness. And then you just got to fold that through gently. This one's actually going to be delicious, I can tell already. A little handy tip there is actually to, if you really want to, you can add in even more chocolate than 100 grams. It will hold up to about 150 grams. So depending on your sweet tooth at home, that is looking beautiful. Okay, you can see that it's all nicely incorporated. Final thing, now we all know berries are coming into season soon, but I've just got some frozen berries here. I've let them kind of relax a little bit. They're not as frozen as they were. And what I want to do is not break those berries, just tip them in so that they almost, dare I say it, bleed through the mix. So you've got to be gentle. You can see there the colour is beautiful, okay? Now you can use any berries. You can go white chocolate and raspberries, delicious. It's really, really up to you. Okay, now I'm not going to incorporate that too much because I really love the swirl effect. Last thing. Okay, the base has had 20 minutes in the refrigerator. It's nice and firm. Now really it's just about taking a beautiful scoop of that straight into the centre. I try not to get too much on the outside if possible. Okay, I've got a spoon here. Now really, you just want to give it a very gentle push down. You don't want any air bubbles in there, because when you go to release it, it's never going to look as good. Okay, and you want it to be fairly level on the top. Obviously when you go to decorate it at the end. Okay, now that's got to rest up in the refrigerator for up to 3 hours. I would say you could even do it the day before you really needed to eat it because it would last overnight, no problem. Okay. This is where I want you to show me a little bit of yourself. I've got a really good selection of stuff here. Okay, you can see I've already decorated one there with some mixed berries. But that's just a guideline. Okay, I really like the look of that particular one, but you may want to change it up a little bit. Please remember to put those photographs up onto the website. I really want to check them out. I think here I'm going to put on just a few raspberries. Again, it's really whatever flavour you like, but white chocolate, raspberry and mixed berries is a very, very beautiful mix. Okay, just like so. I think to accentuate that chocolate, we'll just grate over a little bit more. Okay. If you really wanted to, you could probably even do a little bit of darker chocolate on one side. Just gives a little bit of contrast. And there you have it, my beautiful mixed berry and white chocolate cheesecake. Okay, I'm going to serve that again. A little bit of a fruit salad, absolutely delicious. Please make sure you upload those photographs. I need to check them out. But most of all, have a lot of fun. Good luck.